Welcome to Open Mind Industries Podcast, The Mind Unleashed. Sit back, relax, and unleash your mind. Hey guys, welcome to The Mind Unleashed, episode 39. Holy shit, I'm almost to episode 40 pretty soon. That's pretty good for almost a year. Yeah, could be better. Who knows? Anyway, let's give a few shout outs to our supporters. The first one is going to be Lifty Ride Sharing App. Use our code TMUP for $5 up when you book your next project or ride with Lyft. It's been a crazy week. $5 off when you book your next ride with Lyft. So use our code TMUP for $5 off. You can use it anywhere across the United States, or for you, can give you $3 off. Also, please check out Weed Productions. Weed Productions is a locally cinematography company. He does weddings, special occasions, corporate events. If you're looking to get some really good filmography and some photo shoots for your portfolio or something like that, check out Weed Productions. He's offering our listeners and followers 20% off when you book your next package with him. Use our code TMUP and be on our Facebook page also. Click on that, boom, 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 and you should be good to go. Recommend Ali. He'll hook you up. Also, please check out CAST. CAST stands for Cinematic Aerial Services. What CAST does is they do cinematic aerial shoots for weddings, corporate events, homes. Right now he's offering you guys a $179 package. So if you're trying to get a home inspected, a home on the market for your sellers, buyers, what have you, you guys can use our code. He'll give you a $179 package, and he'll do some really good package shooting for you so your home can look beautiful on the market and your clients know what they're buying when they get there. Also, please check out Strum & Law. Strum & Law hooked us up with our trademark registry. We're almost there. As far as I know, should be all good to go. We're now registered with the Trademark Commission, USPTO. Please check out Strum & Law. He offered flat rates, and he was amazing. Found him on Thumbtack. Amazing guy. Glad I found him. Also, please check out Angie Connors. Angie Connors has hooked us up with our home. She's working on it, still with us. Angie works in the Mount Dora area here in Florida. So if you guys are looking to get a home anywhere throughout Florida or the Mount Dora area, please check out Angie Connors, and she will take care of you. Really, honest to goodness, a real estate agent, hit her up, she'll take care of you. Alrighty guys, let's get on to episode 39. I'm sorry I'm rambling and stuff like that. It's been a crazy week. We've had quite a few things here. And unfortunately, I'm going to talk about this. My uncle recently passed away on this Tuesday, from unexpectedly he had cancer in his brain. We didn't know about this. He kept it quiet for a bit, and we did not know. But yeah, so if I'm rambling on a little bit, be wearing a lot of stuff in my mind and some 3D printing stuff in my head and stuff like that. But I did want to talk about him just for a little bit, if that was okay with you guys. I know it's usually about technology and 3D printing stuff, but I just want to talk about my week and what's been going on and with him and stuff like that. Plus, we also had a horrible incident here in Orlando right next to my apartment. A gentleman on, I believe it was Sunday night through Monday morning, so this is really weird work. If you look up Orlando shooter, there was another shooting here in Orlando. And unfortunately, this guy ended up having a domestic dispute with his wife. I'm trying to keep this as clean and professional as I can. Had a domestic dispute with his wife, unfortunately, or his girlfriend at the time, and she ended up leaving the apartment. They had a few kids, unfortunately, and what happened is when the cops went to go respond, and this is like right behind my apartment, so it's on the other side of the little pond we have here, on the other side of our apartments. Not my complex in general, but there's another one across the road. It was there, and unfortunately the gentleman shot an officer, Orlando police officer, and then from there they found out that he had the 4 children. 2 were his, and then 2 were his girlfriend's children. And unfortunately, I had to work Monday morning, and I worked for Universal, obviously. So it was right next to the Universal area. I had to get into work, and I wake my girlfriend up. I'm like, we got to get it going, and stuff like that. There were cops and shoppers everywhere. I think it was around like 4 or 5 in the morning. They started flying nude shoppers, and they kept posting our apartment because the way the camera was shooting, it was like, our place, and then it was over the next door one. So I had friends text me in the morning and, worried about us and stuff like that. Are you okay? Is it okay? What's going on? Is it your place, or is it the one next door? I said, no, it's the one across the road here from us, behind me. And unfortunately, I got home. I left that night from work, and police were still there, SWAT teams were still there, and it was going on for like 13, 14 hours. And then by, I think, 8 or 9 o'clock that night, I was ready to go to bed. Unfortunately, the morning I woke up, Tuesday morning I woke up, I found out that he had taken his life and the children's lives also. And it was pretty effed up, pretty fucked up that you wake up to that and you're like, man, right across the fucking road from me, it's a guy who was an asshole. And I went to work, and a few other different people were like, holy shit, did you hear what happened? I said, yeah, I live right next to the place. So I want to give my heart and condolences to the mother and the family of those children, because that wasn't deserved. I mean, the SWAT team did all the best they could. It's really hard. People are like, why don't you just break open the door and go in? Unfortunately, it's something like that when a guy has weapons and shit like that. Children, the first thing that they're going to do in worst case scenario is take out the children, as body armor, what's what they do. And unfortunately, he took the cowardly way out and hurt the kids and then hurt himself, and so that really kind of was like weird. And then I had to work on Tuesday. I didn't get home late until Tuesday night, and my girlfriend ended up giving me a lift home. So we were talking a little bit, and she goes, checking Facebook real quick, and she goes, oh no, your uncle just, I think your uncle just passed away. I went, oh, what? And she goes, yeah. And I'm not saddened. I know this sounds really fucked up for some people. I'm not saddened. I'm not harmed or hurt from my uncle passing. I'm kind of happy, and I'm kind of like, okay. He was going through a lot of health issues, throughout the years and stuff like that. So I really didn't know. He didn't know also how many more years he had. He had a lot of stuff from breathing issues, stuff like that. He had to wear oxygen tanks, stuff like that. So he really didn't know how many years he had. He did a lot of construction, roofing, stuff like that over the lifetime. So he's like, even he would state a lot. He's like, I don't know how many more years I have on Earth. I'm grateful for the years I was taking, because the doctor previously a couple of years ago gave him a couple more years to live, and he's like, give a couple more years to live. And I think I was kind of prepared for that. My mom's family really aren't born with best genetics, unfortunately. But I was told by my girlfriend on the car, and I was like, oh, when I came home, my mom was kind of, she already had cried a little bit because it was my uncle. And mom's, going to be flying up there to New York tomorrow. She's flying up tonight. Tonight, tomorrow morning, she'll be there. It's Friday here. And Saturday morning, she'll be up in Rome, New York, which is where his services are going to be. And, it's, like I said, I'm not upset. I'm not saddened. And it kind of does sound fucked up, but it's me at peace. I'm just at peace with people dying lately. It's not... I'm sad that I won't be able to talk to him again or see him again, but we've spoken, a couple weeks ago, and everything was good and gracious. But from what I was told by Mom was, unfortunately, he passed away from cancer. And he had a cancer screening recently that he talked to me and my brother about. He hit me and my brother through Facebook Messenger and said, hey, how you guys doing? Yada yada. Because my uncle was very, very sporadic with talking, and he was, night playing his Facebook games, and that was his thing. So he hit me and my brother up, and I said, hey man, what's going on? How are you? And he goes, yeah man, I'm going to be going in for cancer testing. Don't really know what the fuck's going on, but I know something's going on. Everything came back negative, apparently. Pardon me. For that screening, but unfortunately, he was put in the hospital about a week ago, and they really didn't know what was going on. So, from what we found out, cancer to the brain. So it's been going on for quite a while. He just kept it to himself, unfortunately. I kind of wish he told us. But like I said, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole or anything like that. It just, that's me and death. When people pass away, I'm just kind of so immune to it lately because people are just dying left and right. And I'm just like, But I did write today. I wrote a nice, funny story for my mom. My mom told me this morning. She goes, "Would you write on his obituary?" I said, "Yeah, sure." So I wrote something up that I thought was lovely. I had a nice story that I remembered, and I'll tell it to you guys in just a moment. And it was this. We went to go. He came down from New York, so I went to go, hang out with him here. And Mom was like, "So we got tickets. Movie Fast Five had just come out. I haven't seen it, but I was like, would you like to go see Fast Five?" And he said, "Yeah, yeah." So Uncle George, having breathing issues, he had OCPD and stuff like that, so his breathing stuff. We had to always had to carry an oxygen tank in a backpack and stuff like that, like a little satchel for him and stuff like that. So Mom was like, "All right, just remember he can't walk very far. You need to break his breathing and stuff like that." So he was excited. He was like, "Yeah, let's go do it, man." Because I don't usually do it with my kids. My kids are, 13, 14. his kids were, 16, 17, 18 years old, stuff like that. And so we went to Orlando City Walk here, Universal City Walk. We ended up ended up getting a cab over because Lyft and Uber still weren't ready yet. Uber and Lyft did not exist yet. So we had to take a cab over to City Walk and took him out to the movie. He enjoyed the hell out of it, loved it. I said, hey man, I'm taking you to lunch today too, so let's get ready for lunch. And lunch was not cheap, put it this way. I think I ended up dropping on the whole experience for lunch, the movie, everything, because I ended up having, there's a beer thing of my thing. I'll take a photo of it later for the podcast, and I'll probably post a photo on Apple. But it was a refueler. It looks like a refuel, like a cup, but it's got like a refuel top to it for like NASCAR. So we ended up going to NASCAR, and it was like not cheap. It was, I think altogether I dropped about $230 on the day. I would just go, both cab rides and stuff like that. But that cab story I'm gonna get in just a minute. But I ended up taking him out, and he really loved it. We were drunk. He was having a great time. He haven't had a good time like that in a long time. He said, "Man, my kids won't even do this for me." Not to hate on the kids or anything like that, but he's like, my kids would probably never do this for me. And he's like, it really made him. He cried, a little bit. He stopped a little bit when he had his beer and stuff. But he's like, this is a great day. I'm having a great time and stuff like that. So, but the funny story comes after that. We were drinking a little bit. And I ended up having to have the waiter like dump out one of my beers because it was like too much beer. I had already had like 4 or 5 beers, and just getting that refueler, I was like, oh boy. So anyway, I got the refueler. He's got his refueler. I got him his cup and stuff like that. So we're drunk, man. We're feeling it. We're buzzed. We're really goodly buzzed. So I was like, all right, man, we need to go down and get a cab, and then we'll head home. We'll go home and relax a little bit. So we're well fed. We got onion rings in us, burgers, stuff in us. He's having a great time, taking our time to the cab, so he can breathe. He's having a blast. Get down to the cab, and we push the cab. I tell the guy who does our cab service, I say, hey man, do you guys have your credit card system's working? They said, yeah. I said, you sure? Because like the last time I go in here, they tell me I can't use it or it's down. They go, don't worry, man, they'll take care of you. Just go into one of the cab or whatever. We want to get one. So we get ready. We're hopping in the cab. And the guy goes, where are you going? So I told him where we're going. I said, I'll give him directions and stuff like that. We were drinking. I wasn't buzzed, but I wasn't stupid. So he goes, hey, man, you guys having a great day? We're like, yeah, man, we're doing good. I told him what apartment. So we finally get to the front of our apartments here, into the gate and stuff like that. And I said, hey, man, you can stop here so you don't have to go through all that shit. We'll walk the rest of the way. So, it's like, you're not really getting too confused. And I believe the bill came up to like $7. I'm going to get that ahead of time. So I go, hey man, can I use my credit card? I see he got the system all set up, and it was all blinking and ready to go, swipe your card when ready. And he goes, oh no man, no, I cannot, no. He goes, and I'm like, he goes, you don't have any cash. I said, he gets like fucking irate, and I'm like looking at my uncle, I'm just like, alright. I said, no, man. I said, no, listen, man. All I got is, $5 on me. We've been out drinking a little bit and shit like that. Didn't tell him that, but he already kind of knew we were, a little buzzed. And he gets fucking irate, turns his head around in the car, and he goes like this. And he looks at my uncle, my uncle goes, listen, man, this is all we got in cash. Either you take the card or you take the cash. Like, which one do you want? And he looks it up. He goes, okay, I take the 5. How much you have on you? I said, I have $5. That's it. And then the 5. He goes, okay, give me the 5. And if you give him the 5, he unlocks the fucking doors. And so that guy is out $2 till now. He's still out $2. So I think that's a funny fucking story. And I told my mom, I really don't think I said the guy said this, but I think we made out Uncle George because the fare was only $7. We only gave him 5. So what an idiot for not taking the card. I would have tipped him either way. Anyway. I thought that was a funny story. So I think that was me and my uncle having some fun there. But it was a great moment. And I'm glad I got to spend the time with him and do some connect bowling and shit with him. Because he enjoyed doing that. He loved coming down to Florida and stuff like that. But I've only met him a couple years ago. But it is what it is. Excuse me. But I wanted to talk about that just for a little bit and kind of share that with you guys. Because like I said, it's been a crazy week. And I really just wanted to kind of get that off my chest. Anyway. On to some 3D printing. It's been quite a week with that too. I just got hit up by Alan Lincoln over at Evil Monkey Studios, and what Alan has going on is he's got a commission for some bat armor, some Batman armor. So I have the files with me today because, like, unfortunately, he's really not geared up for all the 3D printing stuff. He is. He has like plenty of 3D printers. He's got a Robo. He's got a couple Tornadoes, stuff like that. Unfortunately, the printers aren't acting. He doesn't have the time to build and stuff like that. So he called me up because, hey, I know you're really busy. You're usually busy on your own shit. Do you have any time to help me out? I said, yeah. So he PayPal'd me some money, and he ended up sending me some files. And unfortunately, like, the armor looked good in modeling. However, when I took it in the slicer, the simplified 3D simplified, goes, hell no, man. What the fuck is this? And I looked at it carefully, and there's a lot of holes in the armor. And you look carefully, it's a lot of the 3D parts, the modeling parts, are not put together properly. They're not welded together and not grouped together properly. That's the best way to state it. Trent's been doing his own 3D printing. He's loving the CR10 a lot. And Alan goes, don't you have a CR10? I said, yeah, two minis because they work best for what I'm building. I'm not going like full fucking scale on it like that. So they print about 11.8 inches high, which is perfectly fine for me. The CR10S prints about 15, so it prints about 4 more inches taller than my CR10 minis, which is not bad. I might get a CR10S later in life, but right now it's not what I need. I don't put a lot of big models anyway, but I'm going to be doing Alan's armor, but the problem is we have to cut like some of it up, because I looked at the model and I went, holy shit, man, who the fuck modeled this? I don't know where he got it. I think he got it from either My Mini Factory or 3D Hubs, or one of those hubs that I'm on also. My apologies. But I'm going through it and I go, oh shit, how can I fix the mesh? Now, for those who don't know, you guys can use NetFab, which is a free program, or you can play with the pro version. The free version just helps you clean some of the model out, the mesh, triangles, stuff like that. So I went on to YouTube real quick and I said, hey man, somebody's going to have a quick 3D printing guide on how to kind of fix the mesh or fix some stuff. As I'm playing with Simplified 3D, you can highlight certain parts. So from there I was able to make, show all the parts of the project and go, okay, what the fuck's wrong? So now I'm able to kind of move some parts around. So I think today I'm going to have to kind of finish it up and kind of work and put some of the parts together and smooth it out. The next best program that I probably would recommend people getting, I found out through YouTube, it's called the Angus Printing Guides, or whatever the guy's name is. I don't know the exact name, but I won't give this guy credit. His name's Angus. There's a really good printing tutorial guide on some model stuff. Really cool. I think he's from Australia. Really awesome fucking dude. So I checked this stuff out, and he said, you use Mesh Mixer, and he's like, that helps clean out some of the errors and triangles and some of the holes inside the product. I ended up putting it through Mesh Mixer. Even Mesh Mixer was like, yo man, I can smooth this out, but I can't fix all the problems. So I think my thing is with people, it's like, if you're going to be, everybody can model. Some people can really model really well. I know how to make a printer. But if you're not 3D printing it, you have no idea how the fuck it's going to print. Even with SLS and SLA and, FDMs, everybody's like, oh, if I can get a multi-million, it's going to print right. No, it's not. The model's the first fucking thing that needs to be perfect. Spot on, needs to be perfectly done. Because your makers, your people who print this shit out for you, have to look at it carefully and go, how in the fuck am I going to print this with overhangs, tips, dips, all that shit? What speed, what filament should I be using, how long? And the thing is with 3D printing is people want to print so fucking fast. Like, I want it now. I want it like within an hour. And a lot of intricate fucking printing. I mean, I printed the Eiffel Tower one time. I wish I took a photo of it. It took me like fucking 12 hours to print it. And I printed it on a pretty low speed because I was like, okay, I want the best detail possible. And I knew from the filament, I was like, this filament likes to take its time and weld together. And the Eiffel Tower was about yay big, but maybe a good 2-3 inches tall. And it came out fucking phenomenal. It was like, you could see everything beautifully. I printed it just the right speed, lighter height. Everything just came out beautifully. But I told Alan, I said, hey man, let me take a gander at some of the stuff. So I have all the files today. But I think I'm turning everybody into the fucking CR10-aholics, because first Trent, then Alan, and then I know Universal has now upgraded their arsenal, the creative department, with CR10s. Is that a bad thing? I gotta say no. I really gotta say no, because it's the biggest thing on YouTube, and everybody keeps fucking talking about it. But the thing about the CR10 series from Creality everyone seems to be fucking duplicating. They're simplistic, they're easy to put together, they're easy to modify if needed. Um, that's a really good sign. Could they be the next XYZ printing? Could they be the next one in the market? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I've seen the newer printer that they put out, and not everybody's not really big happy with. Oh, they're not happy. Well, they're happy and they're not happy. I've seen a mixed review. Just go with the CR10s. You know, not the CR10. I think there's a new one. I think it's the 4 or something like that. But they really knocked it out of the park with a simplistic design, a simplistic extruder that you can easily modify that extruder to do whatever the fuck you want. Because I use a V6 hot end on my Robo, and I ended up getting a new screen for the Robo, so now the Robo is going to be running perfectly too in a little while once I get that running up. And I'm running out of case for right now with the LCD screen, so I can just adapt the system to run a little bit better. Love the Robo, love it to death. It runs phenomenally well. It has a few coding issues with Arduino, but ended up fixing a lot of that with the new stuff that I put into it, and it's all back to normal again. So, could CR10 be that first timer printer thing? I have to say, yeah. I think it's pretty simplistic to use. They really know how to make something simplistic, and the problem with people getting it is like, where can I buy it? Can I just go directly to Creality 3D over in China and get it? But I told most people, I'm like, hey man, get it to where everybody else is getting it. They're getting it from GearBest. I mean, that's where I got mine. I had little issues with GearBest. GearBest is kind of like an Amazon. They're like an Amazon for the China market, which is not a bad thing. You just got to know how to shop on there. And they were really cool with me. They got back to me kind of a little bit directly, and I said, hey man, because when I was buying and I got the bonus from my job, I said, hey man, I'm looking to get some new 3D printers because the fucking XYZ the DaVinci shit the bed. And I got so fucking tired with XYZ. I mean, I probably will never ever go back to fucking XYZ. The way they handle their company, I just can't. Somebody else was like, hey, would you go to XYZ printing? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I can't. And I'm glad. I still talk with the XYZ community, people that I know on the Maker Hubs, and I'm also part of this new hub that makes disabled for pro bono and stuff. You don't get paid for, but you're doing something things for the disabled community. I saw it. It's all in. I think it's German and French. I think it's in France, and somebody started the. Luckily for Facebook Translator, it translates everybody. It translates out to English, so you can read what their people are saying. But everybody seems very lovely and very kind, and it was pretty cool. They had a party this morning. They said, "Hey, this is our basic outline. Would you guys yell on? If you're willing, if you can help. If you can't, no worries. We can give suggestions when you can." And I think it's gonna be a really good hub. I think it's a really cool idea for me. But yeah, I just can't recommend. And a lot of them are using the XYZ printers, and I'm like, yo, man, I won't touch a fucking Pro. I won't touch a 1.0. I won't touch a fucking Duo. I like what XYZ was doing. I wouldn't have gone with Robo if I didn't talk with Alan. And I said, hey, man, I'm looking for a newer printer. Creality wasn't out yet. A lot of these printers, and it was like, the market from 3D printing has fucking picked up dramatically in the past 2 years. If it's not in your fucking home, I don't know what to tell you. If it is, you have to know about 3D printing. Like nowadays, it's shocking because somebody was like, I told somebody about a year ago when I first started getting into this, and it's been about 3 years for me now. And getting the 3D, I'm now at 3D. I consider myself a novice into the system. I don't know everything. I should know. I'm still learning as the day goes because we're all still learning. Each filament is changing. Each step of how to 3D print something is changing. Designing, building, what program we should be using. And that's the beauty of 3D printing. We're never going to know. Even the best printers, $100,000 machines, still make the same fuck-ups the FDM printers make up, and you gotta fix that on the fly. I was talking to somebody over at 3D Hubs, and they're like, yeah, man, I use a blah, blah, blah at work. If the fucking thing is huge, it still fucks up. It still makes mistakes. I'm like, oh, cool, so it's just like what I got. Absolutely, it's just like what you got. But I think, everybody's jumping on that CR10 bandwagon because it's so simplistic, so affordable, easy to modify, quiet. It's a quiet machine. But my thing to Creality is like, keep at your current desk. Don't get too big for yourself. The community's helping you out, the community's helping build that printer to what it's going to be. And there's a couple things. I think they 3D printed a couple parts for the newer printer, and I think is it Charles Huckabee Charles Huckabee. He runs a channel I follow on YouTube on our company page, and I love watching his videos. He does a lot of Tinkercad and stuff like that. Shows you how to make It's Filament Fridays, but if you guys want to check it out. Really good guy. I've talked to them on YouTube. Really nice guy. I like watching some of his videos. I like watching maker videos. It's just my thing. But he spoke about it. He's got a lot of printers. A lot of his people from Patreon donate and stuff like that. And he said the same thing. He's like, they just need to keep at what they're at. The Creality CR10, the Creality CR10S, the Creality Mini, those are like the go-to fucking printers nowadays because they're just simplistic to fucking use. They print really well for the price and budget. You just gotta know how to use them. It takes time to. But as any printer loves, it loves its time. Trent, like I said, just got his, and he's automatically. I gave him a couple days to kind of figure it out by himself. He's loving it. He's in love with it already. He's just like, wow, this is the art of 3D printing. Because his goal is he wants to make masks and stuff like that. He wants to make some molds, so he's going to be getting back into. He wants to get into ZBrush so bad. Because as a makeup artist, he wanted something that he could reuse daily, and I want to make some parts for the crutches and parts for myself in general. So he's loving the hell out of it. And Alan, the other day, and I was at work, sent me a text. He goes, I just sprung and got one. I found one for he's like, what do you recommend? Like, where do I get one? And he goes, I said, well, man, make sure you check Amazon. Amazon's got them. You can get them locally now. Check out GearBest. GearBest has got them too. You just want to make sure it's like genuine fucking Creality, or like it's distributed from Creality. Because a lot of people are claiming to be Creality, but they're not Crealities. They're just knockoffs of the Creality. That's the problem. It's like when you have something that works so damn well, especially in the China market, it's easy to knock it off without any issues. Because mine came in Creality boxes and notes and everything else, so I knew it was Creality because people were saying how shitty some of the stuff is. But I was like, perfect, cool. So far, so good. I've got maybe about 100 hours on my printer, both of them, and they were working great. And my Trent, when he got the Creality, was like, shit, like it's making all these weird noises. I was like, that okay? He sent me videos. He's like, does that sound okay? I'm like, yep, that's the printer making printer noises. I was like, that's just life in general with printers. But I think the Creality is our new MakerBot. And I haven't seen much from MakerBot. I've seen people buy a lot of MakerBots. Not knocking MakerBot in any which way. They're just super expensive, and they're you get what you get from them. You get some good quality from MakerBots. If I had the money, I would probably buy MakerBot, but that's not what I need right now. I think my next goal is probably a CR10S, so I can get a larger print volume. But I'm already getting 11.8 inches, and I'm fucking happy with that. I'm happy that's as high as I need to go for right now. And I think that's perfectly fine for me. But yeah, I really think, the next thing, I'm talking with a guy right now that needs to come into our fruition for makers and model makers is the 3D scanners. And there's one company out there that I keep seeing their shit and stuff like that. I talked to Snapmaker and stuff like that. And somebody else asked me about the Snapmaker too, but 3D scanners need to come into the market for makers, builders, designers. The problem is they're not cheap. The technology is still not there. I know XYZ made a deeper one that I ended up buying because I was like, hey, this might come in handy. It didn't come in handy at all. It was just like, it didn't do shit. You needed to know how to do your modeling and stuff like that still with it. And it was very DRM, so you really couldn't, you could use it, but you had to have an XYZ printer and shit like that. And you couldn't clean up the model. You couldn't put it in Mesh Mixer and clean up some of the model and chop some parts off of it if it was really goopy looking. Or the next 3D scanner is Peel 3D, which I'm probably going to hit them up and see if I can get a loaner unit to try it out. Because I have friends asking about it. And have you tried a 3D scanner? Have you tried this? Have you tried the Xbox camera, for 3D scanning? And the biggest question is, yeah, I've tried those. They're a little bit difficult to use. But I haven't tried the Peel 3D. I would love to try the Peel 3D. Don't think my desktop's strong enough for it. I really don't think it's strong enough for it, but I'm just going to check out the specifications. But yeah, I really think excuse me, I'm having a brain fart, but I really think that's where we need to be going with it, is down that alley of the and the Crealities, and then we need to go with 3D scanners. And it's hard to find out which company's going to be doing well. Snapmaker, I've been supporting them for a long time. When I went to go for the new 3D, get a new 3D printer, I hit them up first. So I was like, hey, I've been talking about you guys for a bit. I've asked you guys in the beginning if I could do, get some podcast notes. And they were very, very awesome. They were like, hey, what's the podcast about? What do you do? What are some questions? At the time, they really didn't know. They said maybe later on down the road they would love to talk to me. I read my huge synopsis for them. I said, hey, would we be willing to talk about you guys? And at the time, they couldn't. Right now, they were just busy getting their name on their branding out there. And right now, it seems to be doing really well. They've been at a lot of maker cons, stuff like that. And if y'all haven't seen what SnapMaker is pretty much an all-in-one system. It's a small system, nothing too big, but it's meant for makers, designers, builders to do laser engraving, a little bit of CNC with wood, nothing major, mind you, but in an 3D printer thing where you could do PLA, ABS, stuff like that. And some people who have bought their system, it's got like a little nice LCD phone that comes like it looks like an iPhone that snaps on, and that controls your models and stuff like that. Really, really well built from what I've been reading from all the comments and stuff like that. I've talked with SnapMaker quite a bit. They've been very awesome. But they're like, hey, because I had some money. Later on, I was like, hey, do I want to spend the money and get an all-in-one system? Or do I want to get two printers for the price of, the same price? And I'm glad I went with option 2, because I was like, they were very cool. I said, hey, my birthday's coming up, unfortunately. Would you guys be willing to help me out with any which way you can? Because I've been supporting your, pushing your product and talking about it, and they were very cool. They're like, hey, we could probably put a little something nice in the package for you. It's your birthday. Let us know, And I said, how much would you be willing to go? They didn't go down that much. I think the price for the all-in-one system was, about $7.99, something like that. And they're willing to give you about $7.60 or something like that with shipping. And I was like, that's a bit expensive. And I was like, well, I thought about it. Talked to my business partner John. I said, hey, what do you think we should do? And he said, what do you want to do? You're kind of like doing that more than I do, because you're doing more of the 3D printing aspect of it. I more or less design. You're the one that takes it to Maker and makes it. And he said, think about it for a little bit. So I did. Sat around it for like 2 nights, and I said, hey man, I'm grateful for what you guys offered, but I'm going to go in another direction just for the moment and see what happens. And I'm glad I went down the CR10 market and said, all right, what's the next 2 printers, the printers out there. I went on YouTube, did a whole search for this year's stuff. I went on Joe Tellings, I went on Barnacle, I went on a few other people, novice experts, but he talks a lot about the robo, so I've talked to a lot of the robo community, and I was talking with them. I was like, hey, how's the newer, Joe Telling has a really good video on that. I said, what the hell does Joe think about that? I went on his, and he tried out the new robo, and the problem is it got smaller, and it's more robust with a camera inside, which you can use Octoprint and stuff like that, which I want to get into myself, because I can also 3D print and monitor the prints from at work or wherever I need to be. It's like finding out what printer works for the community and the people, and even a few people on Instagram kind of hit me up and told me a few things, and they're like, really, the CR10s? And this is a good person, Barbara 3D Print NY, she hit me up and she goes, really, CR10s? I went, yeah, at this time I think it's perfect for me, and pretty flexible, perfectly fine. She uses a LaserBot, and she loves the hell out of it, but she can afford that, That printer is not fucking cheap, man. That printer is a really good printer, but it is not fucking cheap. I tested, had it on there, and they were showing the price tag, and it was like $1,100 to $1,200. So I was like, whew, she's got the mini version, and even the mini version is like around $700. And I'm like, whew. I'm like, no wonder fucking XYZ and shit get bought out like crazy, and creality is getting bought out like crazy. Because XYZ, when I first bought it, the 1.0, even with the enclosure, everything, the whole all-in-one system, that shit was like $400 at Best Buy. And I had it shipped here, for like next to nothing. Now the creality is they got it shipping from China. If you want to go that way, it takes about. I recommend if you're gonna go through that way, like I said, use DHL. Don't use that fucking other shit. DHL will get it here, no problems. Boom, boom, boom. There wasn't an import charge. They do warn you. They're like, there might be an import charge if you importing this, but they didn't stop me. They didn't hurt me. So I'm surprised they didn't send me a bill or anything for like anything. But they're like, no, you're good. It came fucking flew here, got here to Florida. DHL dropped it off. Signed for it, and boom, I had 2 printers sitting on my floor, putting them together, and I probably will do it again. So, I do recommend GearBest. I do recommend getting it from the source, and otherwise than going through Amazon. Amazon, if you have the Prime, you can do it, but it's kind of hard to find. It's a bit more expensive because you're getting the import charge plus the shipping and them shipping it in, and then they take care of the, so it's like blah blah blah. But if you want to go the Amazon route, go the Amazon route. It's a bit more expensive than getting it directly from the source. I think with the shipping and everything, that's what gets you. So they charge you an extra few bucks for shipping to get it into the States and stuff like that. But it worked out well. But I really think I'm converting at least my friends into this CR10 market. it wasn't my goal. It wasn't my intention. But people trust my judgment. Friends that are model makers, builders, have more talent than I do, and it's good to see my friends going, "What do you recommend?" And I said, "Right now, honestly, the CR10s seem to be where it's at. They really, honestly, I've been using them for like crazy. They're not hard to level. They're not hard to do this." And I went down the whole entire line. I said, this is what I would do if I had the money again. I would probably invest into this market. I said it was kind of sucks that the XYZ community, XYZ, could not help me out at all. It was, hey, buy another motherboard. Hey, buy another motherboard. And that's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up to have to deal with that and do that. So, but now that that's all said and done, I'm kind of out of that lifestyle, and I know I don't have to deal with their horseshit. I'm going to deal with the Robo more. Like, I love Robo. I want Robo to honestly build a decent-sized printer. And they already know to add an LCD board, but I have a new LCD board that I bought from Print and Seller for an extra $70, and it's beautifully built for this printer, and that's what it was built for. It was built exactly for the Robo, and now once this bad boy gets on there, I'm going to put the case for it. It should beautifully, I should be able to take it anywhere I wanted to go and print with it. The one thing I like about the Robo community is that everybody is so awesome and so open on what they're talking about. If there's an issue, if there's this, and Robo's right there. If people need a part, they're there. Their firmware's online. They have no problems of letting the community make the printer as best as they can get it, in the Robo way. Gotta recommend Robo for that. They've been so fucking awesome. It's like I had one issue with Robo and they were right there. They're like, "What do you need?" "Okay, yeah, we fucked up here. Here's a new cable." Because I had a short in my Z harness, and they were like right there. They sent me a new one. I said, "All right, I think I fixed the problem." I had like a short in it or whatever. Same thing that the XYZ had, but it was so enclosed, and you needed to go to the motherboard and do certain fucking things on the Arduino Mega. It was a big Arduino, and this one's a tiny little board with steppers and everything like that. But there were a few things I do have to recommend on the Robo R1s. They are selling like hotcakes right now still. I think now they're at like $500. And my only gripe about Robo, and I'm going to keep saying this forever and ever, is it was a bit overpriced when I bought it. They ended up giving me $40 off, to help me kind of cover some costs, but man, it was still fucking expensive. So it was a $700 printer, and I'm still like, oof. To be honest, I think it's only worth $500, which now it is going for $500. If somebody said, "Hey, Ali, would you buy another one?" Maybe, maybe not. Depends on the build size that I'm building. For prototype testing and just like knickknacks and stuff like that, yeah, I definitely would. It builds hangers perfectly fine. I get like about a good, how high do I get? I think I get 8 inches high on this one instead of the 11. So that's still not bad. I get I think 11 width, and then I want to say like a 9. No, less than that. But yeah, it prints phenomenal. Like, it prints good. It heats up really, really fast on the bed. The only thing I want to do with this one, I might make another enclosure, but it has like a nice cap enclosure on it. It doesn't close all the way, but it does keep heat in very, very well. And yeah, I could recommend these guys. These guys have been really good. The printer works really good. It's good to be able to get into the software and actually fix issues that it may be having software-wise. But I can't complain, man. I really can't complain. But this creality is a whole other fucking game. I've never seen something as simplistic and something as robust as what it is. It's just simple. It's simple fucking printing. It's nothing. It's not like, hey, we can do this and this. It's just fucking steel bars with and wheels, and how can we make this as smooth, as cleanest experience possible, but then giving you the best results we can for the cheapest price. And it's like, holy shit. And I think that's why people are jumping on the creality bandwagon, because you're getting not only the biggest thing with that 3D printing community is you're getting fucking build volume. People want that build volume. It's like they see something and they're like, I want to make a big figurine, or I want to make something from Thingiverse. And it's like, can I? And the problem is, like, 3D printers are really cool to be small, like miniatures, but at the same time, it's like, people want to fucking build hobbies. They want to start building, model airplanes, and they want to start doing shit for their computers and brackets and shit. I had one guy who's like, I build brackets for my computers. I 3D print them because nobody makes brackets. So he makes his own custom brackets for his hard drives and stuff like that, graphics cards. And he's like, I use as a Robo, and he uses another, he uses a Creality. And he's like, Ultimakers is another thing. Ultimakers are really fucking good too, but they're expensive as shit too. But the reason why they're expensive as shit because they're from Sweden, but they're really fucking good. I've been told by many people who own them, and they're like, you should get one. And they offer like a payment plan and shit like that. I'm just like, I would love to get an Ultimaker, but God fucking Christ, could never afford it. Huh. Hopefully with Patreon, maybe you guys can help with that. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, it just seems this 3D community life is this building in the past 2 years is fucking taken off. Like I couldn't imagine it. I could not imagine it. Who would have thought you would have an Alexa in your home, doing some of your lighting and shit like that, your door lock, stuff like that. A 3D printer for hobbyists and makers and builders for their own companies. They can have their own little workshop in their house so they can go to either actual, engineering job and go, listen, this is what I found off my 3D printer, this is what I've done, this is what I can do. It's cool because Autodesk is getting more money now from us and the makers, and it's cool when Autodesk is offering a software that anybody can use because they want you to build. It helps them in the long run because they're like, oh, we're loading a lot of shit from our makers and hobbyists to build stuff. So I think it's really cool that it's picking up as fast as it is, but it's like, holy shit, it's becoming the goddamn iPhone and the MacBooks, and it's becoming, I think in another year or two, it's going to be, everybody's going to have a standardized fucking 3D printer to standardize some things. Will resin printing go down in price? Who the hell knows? I've been still taking a gander at that. I mean, the Carbon one is still the fastest printer on Earth right now, and it is very expensive. It's like $64,000 just to lease it, and then the resin is like $100. Resin's like $200-300 just to use the resins, but the parts print out so fast for automotive and shit. You could do a ball, a intricate piece in under 45 minutes, and that's fucking incredible. But they use a DLP projector and they use oxygen. So there's a mixture of oxygen and a DLP projector, and it's fucking crazy. If you guys want to see that, check out the Carbon printer, the Carbon 1. Go to like test it and shit. They have it. They were actually able to talk with them personally. From Adam Savage. This thing is fucking really cool, really really expensive. And they're like, how much is it to have one of these? Like $64K. To lease it. You can't even own it. You have to lease it. You can't have it. Like, you can't literally like buy it. You have to like lease it for $64,000. And then you have to buy like the resins from them, obviously. But it's like, holy shit. But where am I at this podcast, man? It's been a crazy fucking. How far am I in? Wow, 42 minutes in. I rambled about some 3D printing. But that's pretty much what I've been working on, man. I'm going to get back to the mesh mixer. I'm going to be fixing a few things with the model for the Batman stuff. I still got to go in. I still got to really dig into the stuff and work on that. And hopefully I can figure out the solution of what the fuck is going on. Because every time I try to slice this armor, there's issues. And I thought like NetFab, and I thought mesh mixer would kind of fix those. But when you're building a model, guys, if you're getting into it, take the time to learn how to use the software first. You can understand. Because the guy did a great job. I don't know how they scanned it in or what they did, but it looks like they just parted it together, and this guy was maybe either a novice to it or just kind of not used to, like, hey, how do I make this work? The problem with getting it into a 3D slicer has to go break it down layer by layer and go, okay, well, what parts are missing, what parts are together. So the printer can say, okay, the printer just prints it. It doesn't, it does what the slicer tells it to do. It tells it how many steps, how many layers, what line it needs to follow, how many lines are going to be in the thing. And the slicer was like, no way, man. Some of the parts are fucking way off, none of this is really connecting. It's floating in midair. So, really take your time, study the software, and then make sure when you're putting it up there. So us as makers, if it's on Thingiverse, if it's on this, I had a model that I put up on Thingiverse that I fixed. I literally found it in Slicer, and I was like, why is this printing like this? And I found out it was in midair. It wasn't a solid model, so I ended up turning the model into a solid. That way people could be well taken care of, and they're not worried about certain things. And once I figured that out, people were like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I just turned it into a solid through program. But highly, highly, highly recommend, if you're a model maker, model make, have some fun, love yourself, but take care of your work. Make sure it's working properly. I think that's all I got for today. Holy shit, I've been rambling, but it's been a fun one. It's really been good. I think, like I said, I've converted my friends to the creality, and maybe somebody else converting people to crealities, but I think it's the printer of the future, man. I just wish that they would stop for a minute and look at what they've done, and then improve just a little bit. You don't overly fuck yourself over as a company. Improve little by little. You've already made a product, now just improve on where you can improve. Make it easy, make it not as complex, make it just beautiful. Keep the product in maintenance, and just keep your quality. Most importantly, keep your fucking quality control the top priority. I mean, if you could put out some printers with good quality control, if you build it, they're gonna come, man. They're gonna keep buying and buying and buying and buying. And your numbers won't go down. You know, you just improve little by little, fix it where it needs to be fixed, tweak it where it needs to be tweaked, and stop 3D printing fucking parts for the printers, man. That's fucking ridiculous. I've seen that shit that Charles Huckabee fucking popped it on Filament Friday. He was like, yeah, this new part that they 3D printed it. He's like, I'm not a big fan of that. I was like, nor am I. And I know the Laser Blizzard bot fucking they 3D print a lot of their parts, which isn't a bad fucking idea. To be honest, it's not a bad 3D printed parts can hold, but a 3D printed part on a goddamn 3D printer, like I've got a few 3D printed parts that are holding really well. Surprising because I printed them out really good and printed them really well, but at the same time, it's just like, yo, man, I don't know. You know, I would rather have an injection molded part for that, but or a molded part. But I have a few parts in the Robo that are 3D printed, not all of the mechanical parts, but there's a few that are helping this filament and they rise up the print, stuff like that. And on the creality, I have some parts that are help the Z-Rod go up and down. I have little knobs and shit that work out really good, print them out really good, and they're rock solid hard. They're not gonna break, you know. But at the same time, it's kind of like, yo, man, like if you're gonna make us spend like all that money, you should fucking put some real mold injected parts in there, just so they don't. We know they're not gonna break, but it is what it is with 3D printing companies. Lizabot's one of them, and so is Creality. Creality needs to, they need to stop doing that. They need to start, you know, working on their shit better. That's just me, my opinion. Anyway, The Incredibles came out today. I probably won't see that for another week. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm hoping the parents, when I go see that, aren't going to fuck it up for all of us grown adults. What else? Nothing much. Gamer news, Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out pretty fucking soon. Awesome. E3 is getting ready to start. Oh, no, it already has started. But, my buddy's there now setting up for shit. He surprised us this morning. He's like, I'm working at E3. We're like, what? Get the fuck out of here. So that's been going on. Yeah, that's about it for me for this week. I'm glad the week is over. Yeah, it's been a wild one. And I just want to give a moment of silence for my uncle. And a moment of silence for the family that unfortunately was killed on Monday. And my uncle was passed away on Tuesday, so I'll give a quick moment of silence. Alright. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for keeping awesome. If you guys want to donate or anything like that, please go on our Patreon page. $1 would help. I'm going to be putting more content up, more 3D printing videos up. I know I keep saying it. It's been fucking busy. I'm a one-man army. I got business cards to do. I've got a lot of things to do. I got to work on Alan's stuff. But if any donations you guys want to help, it'd be wonderful. Any questions for the podcast, please let me know, man. openmindindustries@gmail.com. If you want to be a part of the podcast, let me know. I like to talk to all makers, model makers, anybody. Nerdies, funnies, goodies, all that good shit. I hope this entertains you guys. I'm hoping you guys are having fun. I'm hoping my rambling ass can have some fun. I'm going to be having Maurice on soon again. We had to get his schedule in order. He ended up purchasing a few things from T2 I won't discuss because it's really cool what he got. But we need to do Terminator, the part 2 soon, and Dakota will be on. Hopefully I can have Dakota on. I also have my Ben Patton on. He's been doing a couple fundraiser stuff like that for his company, or his page that he's been doing, for motivational for workers and stuff like that. And what else? I may have on Ross Paget. I may have on a friend that they both do comedy, and to talk what they do. So, looks like a fun year this year for the podcast. And I love doing these. These are not much money, and you know I do these $15 a month, pays for all my streaming and shit like that with this. I just got to do all the editing and video editing and all that shit like that. So please, guys, subscribe to our YouTube page. Subscribe to our Facebook page if you want to get some 3D printing done. I'm very budget friendly on that. But yeah, keep positive, keep open-minded, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. If you want to donate, you can. I'm going to get some more partner shit so I can start making some money, get some money back in my pocket. If you want to help anywhere you can, I would appreciate it. But I got a lot of prototype shit that you still do. Anyway, keep an open mind. Have a great weekend. I will miss you guys. Be safe.